Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Board in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben and as always I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
And this week we're going to talk about elongated skulls, Peruvian, Egyptian,
Incan.
ancient skulls that are a bit long, a bit cone-heady.
A bit cone-heady, and this sparks from us sharing a meme not long ago on our page, which if you don't follow, you should.
You should indeed.
Cutting through the Board in the Post-Truth Apocalypse on Facebook. And we posted a meme showing a picture of old Rothschild from the side, and he's got a little bit of a
cone thing going on.
Bit of a cone head going on. Next to a picture of one of these ancient Peruvian cone head skulls, and some mad cunt.
Now, in fairness, he's liked a few posts since.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
So he's even madder than we thought.
I think there was a picture of Shimon Peres as well, the old Israeli Prime Minister.
I think that's probably what got his goat up.
Right, okay. But essentially, we were making an ancient aliens joke, weren't we?
Yeah, basically.
Did the ancient bloodlines, Illuminati, lizard men, that type of thing.
Yeah.
That's what we do. But this fucker accused us of spreading dangerous propaganda.
Racist propaganda.
Racially insensitive propaganda. Anti-Semitic propaganda. Which led me to the conclusion that maybe we should do a fucking episode on these fucking coneheads. Hopefully our mate's listening and you'll see our take on all this thing, which I don't think we're going to mention
Jews at all.
I don't think they're going to come into it.
No, I mean, I never had an anti-Semitic. Hey!
The Bernard Manning of podcasts has arrived. So yeah, fucking
in a way, that meme could have been taken. If it was portrayed in a different light, the light we were portraying it in was a very much lightly, less of a little bit of a knock.
Let's just say if it was on a white power website, you know what I mean, then it would have connotations with it because
the audience you're portraying it to, yeah.
But we were more focused on the Peruvian skull. We didn't notice the Jewish link in the meme.
And we're a conspiracy website, for fuck's sake. You know?
And it's a
we're a piss take conspiracy site as well. We don't take any of it remotely fucking seriously.
Apart from the alien stuff.
We don't take any of it remotely seriously. So yeah, that's why we're going to go on about these skulls. But if this is your first episode,
we're going to do some weird news first.
Yeah.
And that'll take us 20 minutes, half an hour maybe. And then we'll crack on with the main thrust of today's topic.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
So what's the first weird news up?
The Eastern Daily Press.
I love this. Have you seen this? I know Mike's seen it.
I have seen it, it's brilliant.
I haven't turned my house into a Japanese restaurant, Norwich man claims. Now there's a picture of the house. He's got a massive sign outside saying Orlando's.
I imagine it flashes.
It lights up at night as well. Lights up at night as well. And so let's scroll down. He's claiming it's got a large illuminated sign on the front, a dedicated Facebook page, and a phone number. It has all the hallmarks of a restaurant. But owner, Orlando Williams, today insists that his 7-bed house on Earlham Road in Norwich is not operating as a Japanese eatery. Unhappy neighbours claim he's been running a restaurant inside the property since October last year without permission. It has led to Norwich City Council investigating the premises over a possible breach of planning regulations. But former restaurateur Mr. Williams denies the allegations against him.
it doesn't help that he's wearing a fucking apron in the picture.
No, it does not.
There is a picture of it now. It has a little sign Orlando's.
Because despite the installation of a large illuminated sign outside his house which reads Orlando's, the word Sakura is also printed over the front door, which is the same name as his previous Japanese restaurant on Bear Street.
It's the coincidence, it's the coincidence.
When asked about the signage, Mr. Williams said, "All I do, I have my name on my house. There is no restaurateur." In response to being asked about whether his property had been used as a restaurant, he added, "What you are saying to me is wrong. A Facebook page for the Sakura restaurant shows its location as the property on Earlham Road. The advertised restaurant number is also for Mr. Williams. When the number was called, a person who answered confirmed the restaurant was at the Earlham Road address."
Oh my life.
In fact, inside he's got seating for 15.
He's got a large family.
He's like, I used to have parties. I used to have parties, that's all. I entertain guests. It's not a restaurant.
Oh my god.
The size described as god awful. I don't think it's that bad.
I mean, I've seen worse things outside people's houses.
Christmas tree, Christmas lights from the start.
Well, clearly, you know,
They said
he's a bit of a cheeky chappy.
Norwich City Council has made numerous visits to the property, but has not been able to establish whether or not it was being used as a working restaurant.
For fuck's sake, why don't you
Yeah, seating for 15!
You don't need to be Columbo to work this one out.
Columbo would have figured this out immediately.
He's cooking for 15 people on his little 4-hob cooker, is he? Or what? He must have some equipment in there. It must be fairly obvious.
I like to think
Unless he's a master of just emptying it all out on the day they turn up.
The thing is, they'd probably have to give him some kind of notification, wouldn't
Yeah.
they? Like, well, by the way, we're coming round Thursday at 2.
Inspection.
So he's like shifted everything out, put it in the shed, band his old kitchen back in there, move the tables out, or he's got one of them buttons you press and the room switches round.
It rotates.
Yeah.
Clearly he's a cheeky bastard, isn't he?
He is, I like him.
No restaurant here.
No restaurant here. You've got a massive sign outside with your name on.
There's a Facebook page. We rang and you said yes, the restaurant is at this address.
Seating for 15 and mood lighting.
Ah, yes, but I told you this before. I knew you were the press. What you say to me is wrong. I'm an honest man. I just like to have my name outside my house.
Everyone names their house. I've named it Orlando's, which is also
after
my name. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can get away with this.
I named it after me.
Could just call it Benny's.
Because I'm awesome. Well,
Or they will have to contend with a dog walking round.
fair play to him having a go. But, you know, if I was a neighbour, I probably would be annoyed if next door's house just turned into a restaurant.
It would be a bit infuriating, especially when people are asking if they can park on your drive.
Yeah, and there was no planning permission. I wasn't asked my opinion.
But they just say he's got a 5-bedroom house. 5-bedroom detached house. He's got a bit of money. This is a nice area, isn't it? I mean, all the houses like that.
But he hasn't got enough to rent he hasn't got enough to lease an actual restaurant and have a house, so he killed 2 birds with one stone. He's been very entrepreneurial.
Entrepreneurial, yeah.
Entrepreneurial.
Enterprising, that's what I was trying to say.
But I like him.
Go on, you Orlando.
That's genuinely my favourite article of the week.
Stick it to the man. Don't pay those business rates. Or the slaves that you've got working for you from
He
Vietnam.
may have illegal slaves.
He's probably got Vietnamese slaves. How else does he move all that fucking catering equipment so quickly?
Yeah. Oh, Miss Orlando, you want me to move kitchen? Yes, go
Again? Yes. If you ever want to see sunlight. Right.
What's the next one?
That was fun.
Autonomous robot hit and killed by a self-driving Tesla car.
What?
Exactly.
Robot on robot.
Yeah, they turned on each other.
Hey.
Good.
And
2 less cunts. Robo cunts in the world.
An autonomous robot has been hit and irreparably damaged by a Tesla car operating in self-driving mode in Las Vegas. The $2,000 a day rental humanoid robot was struck ahead of a consumer electronics show technology conference taking place in the Nevada city. The company behind the robot, Promobot, revealed one of its Model V4 products was killed by a Tesla Model S. However, many social media users have expressed skepticism over whether the incident was a PR stunt. Promobot claims that a number of robots were making their way to display booth around 7 p.m. when one of them stepped in a line and into a parking lot roadway, only to be smashed by the self-driving vehicle containing 1 passenger. Of course we are vexed, Oleg Kivakurtsev, Promobot's development director, said of the incident. We bought this robot here from Philadelphia to participate at CES. No, it neither cannot participate in the event or be recovered.
I call bullshit. I think they shoved their own robot into the path of the oncoming Tesla car just to get this sort of coverage to be mentioned in the same breath as Tesla.
And why did their robot just decide to stray out a line?
It was fucking shoved, or like radio. It was programmed to do it.
Doesn't autonomous mean that no one's controlling it?
Yeah, the car's autonomous.
No, so was the robot.
They say autonomous, but come on.
You mean like that Russian one that was a bloke in a suit?
Yeah, I mean, there's somebody can control it and program it. Somebody's got to code it and all that, so it can be coded to run out in front of the Tesla fucking car, can't it?
Why would they do that though?
Because you get your fucking name in the news like this.
Yeah, maybe.
Because have you ever heard of promo bot?
I have now.
Exactly. Because it got fucking smashed in the face by a Tesla.
For my birthday, I'm going to hire some promo bots.
They don't give hand jobs.
They used to freak you out.
No, they're alright as long as they haven't not trying to stab me or fucking...
I'm going to program one to stab you.
You couldn't program a fucking digital watch.
I can do a digital watch. The old video recorder I took with.
You could fucking program a robot to do anything to me. So anyway, back to promo.
I'll get them to do it.
Oh yeah.
It won't be a serious stabbing. Just in the shin maybe.
I found a flaw in your fantasy. Several flaws. What's going on then? What's the end of this fucking wonderful story of robo on robo violence?
Well, the Tesla continued driving understock 50 metres down the line. There was nobody there, no men, no cars, said George Calderado, the Tesla passenger. I switched this Tesla thing into a self-driving mode and decided to move, and wow, a robot on the track. I thought that the flivver,
whatever that is,
will come round, but it bumped straightly into it. I'm so sorry, the robot looks cute, and my sincere apologies to the engineers.
Oh, there's footage of the incident.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
So this is the footage of the robot killed by the Tesla car.
Oh, look at him.
That's hardly serious. And he's
Is
not
that
over.
it?
Just glanced him. It's nothing.
Is that it?
It's nothing.
What the f...
That
It
looks
basically
like...
just glanced past
It's the
him.
shittest robot I've ever seen. It's
That
like,
looks like a shit Christmas decoration.
yeah, or a gay Dalek.
They have sexed up this fucking headline so much.
It just clipped it, didn't
Nothing
it?
smashed into anything.
I was expecting like a full-on...
All three of us here, any human could have survived that. What we just
Yeah.
saw the robot take. It was literally clipped at an incredibly low speed, and it toppled over quite slowly. It was
And if it's
obviously...
destroyed from that, it's a shit robot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
What the fuck was it doing right there at the side of the road anyway?
Well, if all we've got to do is lightly clip them with cars, I don't think we'll have a problem.
Yeah, I'm not so worried about this robot apocalypse.
Oh man, I'm his sights set on being the leader of the revolution.
I could just, like I said,
Yeah, but this is just a prototype, isn't it?
This is like the T1.
Wait till 10 years down the line, they got more advanced models.
Look what happened to it when he got clipped by the wing mirror of that car. If I hit that at 50 in my van, that's going to be into a million pieces.
I saw something said everything in it. Run it down with the van.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is, just run it down with the van.
Exactly. I know what it is! Get it!
You drive around some strange areas in the Netherlands, guys. Have you ever run anyone down
Get it with speed!
that you didn't know was, you didn't know what it was? Or?
I've run over a couple of crackheads.
What the fuck's that?
They just bounce off. That's fine. Nobody misses them. Just keep on trucking.
Stop to take the crack, obviously. Then.
Well, yeah. Unless shoes.
And a small trophy from everybody.
Yeah, and here.
He's got a bucket of ears in the van.
No one has my van! I'll clean up the air bucket.
It's mine. If in doubt, run it over.
Seems to be your motto. It's becoming a show motto.
That thing, that little pussy robot we've just seen, I would eviscerate that.
Wow.
At like sort of 30 mile an hour.
You know that eviscerate literally means scoop out the middle of it.
It's it's gonna it will
Obliterate.
It will be into 1,000 million unfixable pieces, and we will win the revolution fairly easily.
So I don't get to be leader of the resistance.
No, because look at them, they're just gonna waddle to the side of the road and go, oh fuck, a car.
Yeah.
And we'll just get hit.
That sucks.
Yeah. It doesn't suck, it means we're gonna win. we might have to follow you.
I'm not leader of the resistance.
In some fucking universe, Gaz, he is leader of the human resistance.
He might be leader of the resistance Dawley branch. He's not going to be the leader of the whole thing, is he?
In one multiverse,
In some
Gaz,
universe, he's John Connor, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so are you.
Well, yeah, so are you.
So we don't have to worry about it too much. But I think, like, yeah, leader of the Dawley branch of the resistance. That's what I think. You know, like 2 crackheads and a fat lad. That's
You
your
bunch of
command.
crackheads, you're going over the minefield in broad daylight. The rest of us are flank round. Take by surprise.
That's your little squadron.
Yeah. So then the supply of crackheads to use as cannon fodder. We should help them.
Either way, this story was clickbait bollocks.
I like the headline.
Yeah, that's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bastard.
I promise you that
dear.
I had nothing to do with this.
Okay.
Couple smeared in blood caught having sex in woods surrounded by chanting women.
Wow.
A couple covered in bird blood repeatedly caught having sex in the woods, reportedly caught having sex in the woods surrounded by a group of chanting women. A woman from Leeds called police after coming across the scene while searching for her dog. She spotted the couple near the Hawksworth Wood Trail just off Craigside Walk in Kirkstall, Leeds, shortly after midday on Friday, January
Midday? I thought it was going to be like midnight or something. Midday?
So what are they doing? Making a porno or some sort of satanic ritual?
I can't divulge that.
I'm going for making a porno.
West Yorkshire Police confirmed officers were called to a report of public indecency in the woods, and they have now stepped up patrols in the area. I know I haven't been able to get the fucking coven together for weeks now. The dog walker, who wishes to remain anonymous, said, "I let the dog off for a run, and he went into the top of the wood near the wall.
Haven't you seen horror films?
He disappeared, and I heard what I thought was shouting, so I went to get him. And she's such a big softie, but I thought he had scared someone. It sounded like someone shouting in a different language, but then I saw a lady in her late 30s on a white plastic sheet.
Sounds hot.
She said she thought the woman was dead at first. When she went close to try and find her dog, she saw a man. The man then used his finger to take blood from a dead bird and put it on the woman's face before they had sex, she claimed."
So she stood and watched for a bit though.
That would freak you out though,
It
wouldn't
didn't take me that long.
Walking your dog midday in the woods and you come across that.
Mate, I'd have me cock out quicker than you could
I
say.
want about,
No, I
If I was
walk my
an old
dog
lady,
literally every day.
I want the
around
average
midday.
person.
Yeah, if I wasn't a pervert like me, then yeah, I might be.
I walk
freaked
my
out.
dog every day about midday.
Hope
Gaz
to
would
find
just
something like
strip
this.
off and join in.
I've never fucking seen anything out of the ordinary. Why can't I stumble across this? I'd love it. I'm in Gaz's shit. I'm jumping in there. What are we doing? Satanic ritual? Fantastic.
Yeah, but an elderly lady, isn't she?
Well, she's more open-minded.
Well, she stood and watched enough of it.
She realised they were having sex.
Well, she did say I dragged the dog away, and my friend and I walked away. My friend and I, ooh, it's hotter.
It's like dogging now.
Then about 10 minutes later, I walked back that way. Why you went back for more? And my friend said she saw at least 5 other women clothed around them, the couple, and we realised they were chanting. We decided to go and ring the police as it seemed odd, because they knew people were there and just carried on.
Yeah, it turns me on, to be fair.
We chat back later to see if they'd gone, and they were dressed in tunics and walking away as if nothing happened and had a sheet folded over their arms. It was completely bizarre.
No sex magic here.
What? I said,
Just
what's
like a
the
sex cult, doesn't it?
sex cult or porno?
Sex cult.
I think I might go with porno shoot.
I'm going
No
ritual.
video cameras though, were there?
Yeah, maybe these old people didn't notice because they're fools.
I'm going ritual.
Okay.
I'm going sex cult.
Well, we've got the address. I'm going to go and have a look.
Yeah.
Me too.
If I see anyone, I'll run them over. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Then they really will be smeared in blood.
Because I've been dragged into the back of your van.
Smeared all over the front of my van.
Or dragged into the back.
Yes. And I'll show them my ritual. Stabby. I'm only joking. I don't kill people in my van, listen.
He just takes their ears.
Yeah, like just small animals. Not people. Right, is that it for the news?
It is. Okay, I'm gonna. The long-awaited return of the reggae box.
Yes, it's been a while.
Give me your gun. Come on over there. Put the gun Because I envy your normal life.
Put the gun down, David.
It seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box? Not take it. Give me the what's gun. In the fucking box? Give me the gun.
He just told you.
You lied! Yeah.
What is in the reggae box, Ben?
And it's I sent it to you guys, didn't I? The Brexit survival food boxes.
You did?
You can buy for £2. It's full of 6 months of dehydrated rations.
Was it £2?
It was something like that, yeah. It was. Some of them were £2.
Similar to what that pastor was selling, and buckets of food on the.
Yeah, for the rapture.
Yeah.
If you don't, or whatever it was.
Armageddon, I think.
Armageddon. But
so you're equating Brexit with the end of the world and the rapture?
No, I'm not.
It is going to be that bad.
I'm just concerned that someone's come up with the idea of flogging food for it.
Of course somebody has. I think you've got to admire the entrepreneurial nature.
And I do, but doesn't it worry you a little bit?
Doesn't it? This is just somebody like, oh, we could fucking definitely make some money off prepper types in the next few months.
No, I don't know.
Because once Brexit happens and we don't need food parcels, they're fucked, aren't they? So they've just got a small window to let's try and bang a few of these out. And good luck to them.
The fact that we can only grow 60% of the food we need in this country, the rest of us are going to be held up in traffic jams and things like that, or massively rising in price to the point where you can't afford it.
It's not going to be that bad, is it?
It could
Well,
be.
it's a pound of banana.
A no deal would massive. We could have massive tariffs.
Oh, fuck.
It concerns me that this idea is still, and then because we've got a shortage of other things, medicine.
Is there anything I can do about this?
Well, we could have a revolution.
Copy the French, the Gilets jaunes or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the right wing are trying that.
Yellow vest.
I was thinking about this though, because I watched quite.
I've got an article on them later for weird news.
I watched quite a lot of Yellow Vest video.
You see that boxer?
Yeah.
He was awesome. Was he not awesome?
He was awesome.
He just literally sort of somersaulted over some barriers and started punching the policeman,
I didn't see that,
boxing away, and he was.
I've been thinking about it. Why the equivalent can't happen in England? Because we
it did yesterday.
Yeah, but not to that level. They've been doing it for like fucking 8 weeks, but they're not reporting it on the news.
You gotta love the French.
I know, but we're not that.
We love a revolution.
We can't get along like that. We'll fight amongst ourselves too much.
No, because we're brought up
pussified. We respect the authority.
Well, you don't think that there's a difference in the right and left in France? It's the same.
Yeah, but we're too. I've seen about it. We wouldn't be able to, people wouldn't working class people. They wouldn't be able to just hack having to march alongside angry Gerald.
Do you know why?
You'd end up stealing Gerald's wallet.
We've never had a revolution in this country.
We're too fat and lazy.
No, it's because of the weather. I guarantee you, if everyone got together for a revolution in this country and it rained, everyone would go home.
Oh, exactly.
We're brought up in a society where we have wet playtimes at school. Oh, it's raining, you can't go outside.
It's spitting!
Exactly! It's spitting, everybody in! Like, if you go to a village fete or something, if it rains, we'll hold it in the church hall, don't worry, no one has to get wet. The weather's terrible in this country.
Well, we sort of had that, didn't we? We had the peasants' revolt.
Yeah, and then it rained and everyone went home.
Yeah.
Basically. And they killed Wat Tyler. He was the leader of it.
So it's never going to happen for us, is it? So we just have to take Brexit up the arse.
No one's going to sit there
one day I'm going to wake
revolution in this country.
So I'm just going to wake up one day and bananas are £1 each and that's it.
Yep.
No, it could be more than that. It's going to be more than that, isn't it? It's going to be like, bread might go up, all your basic necessities might go up because we can't produce enough of it here. So the price will go up because of demand. But the whole idea is fucking awful and we should just knock it on the head, is what I'm saying. Let's revoke the Article 50 and crack on. There'll be a State of the Nation address shortly on...
It's going against the will of the people, Ben.
Fuck the will of the people, they're idiots. We've already proven this. People are idiots. We've proven it over fucking 60-something episodes.
They were fed a crock of shit, weren't they?
Exactly. Every single promise Leave made has turned out to be either completely bollocks or, well, just completely bollocks.
Yeah, they just wanted to leave so they didn't have to pay tax.
This is what it boils down to.
That's all it was, basically.
The day after we leave, on March 29th, or supposedly leave, the EU brings in a fucking tax regulation, says there's no more loopholes, everyone's going to pay the fair share. You're telling me that Johnson, Rees-Mogg, Ian Duncan-Smith, all those cunts who Farage, who all so want to leave with all their fucking millions stashed away in their Panama accounts and legal loopholes of their multi-million pound companies, don't fucking pay tax for, all of a sudden they've got to pay. That's the reason they pushed for it.
Yep. And a little bit of racism.
And a little bit of
Mixed
racism.
in.
Especially Farage, that fucking weasel-faced twat waffle.
Royal Rumble soon.
Yeah, well, that's my burger box. It was annoyed me. It's annoyed me
I
that we
think
come to that
Brexit annoys
situation.
everybody, so...
I don't blame you.
We're the 5th richest
I
economy in the fucking world and fucking... we don't have a food shortage.
I can't wait till that fucking phrase is in the dustbin of history. Brexit, I never want to hear it again.
You're going to
After
think the
it's
rest of your
finished.
life.
Well, yeah.
It's only a major date in British history, one way or the other.
Now that we got down with a lady with kids, hopefully I'll get like a special. I'll get to the front of the queue for the food, in front of you guys, because the kids. Do you know what I mean? That's maybe my.
The food bank, you mean?
Yeah. That's gonna get me access to the food bank. I think.
Or the tip.
Right, well, cheers.
I'm saying.
We'll just waste away then.
I'm gonna push in the queue.
Actually, you get less for the children because they can't work.
Well,
Me and Michael are of working age, we get more, we're working.
To be fair, I mean, us guys will definitely notice it. We'll pinch us in the wallet and that. But it's the really most vulnerable people that are really at risk.
Well,
Elderly people.
You've got the possibility of a medicine shortage
Disabled
as well.
people.
But insulin might not get in. We don't make it in this country. There might be days where we have no insulin in this country at the start. What are the diabetics going to do? He's going to die.
I think that's what
it won't
somebody
hurt
would
to
like.
lose a
Wouldn't it?
few with it. Oh, that was a joke. Sorry, not a very funny one, but yeah, it might be the cull that we need. This might be I might be one of the ones that dies off. I don't know. Maybe I'm one of the unfit.
Why does anybody have to die?
Yeah,
off?
no one has to die for no reason. You're going to be averted then.
Shit happens, doesn't it? And we're just
Well, we're not
That's
our
all
point.
natural selection here.
That's our point of being into society. That we stop people from dying unnecessarily. You know, but all that's happened with this government, that's been reversed. Poverty's increased, homelessness has increased.
So it's going to get worse if the economy tanks.
It's getting worse and worse, isn't it?
I mean, where I work, all our stuff comes to the continent. At the minute, there's no tariffs on that. There's no delays. Or if there's delays and they bang a 20% tax on it.
Yeah, and Ben's firm decides, alright, had enough of Britain, we're going to go and build a factory in Bulgaria or something.
Well, it's a multinational corporation where they say, you know what, the UK branch is too expensive. We'll
and then
scale
you'll
it down.
come crashing back down to our level, Ben. To the lofty heights of the management world. Back amongst us mere mortals.
Well, personally,
look,
I think that those who voted to leave should be the first to lose their fucking jobs.
this is worst case scenario, isn't it?
It is worst case scenario, but I think it's a scenario that's worth looking at.
I think it's generally considered that there is going to be an economic downturn after Brexit.
Yeah.
There's been an economic downturn all the way through it, so why would that change?
And the best thing is, these cunts who fucking backed it, who invested all the money, are backing on the pounds a tank and making millions out of it.
That's why we need to overthrow capitalism and install a socialist utopia.
Revolution. Armed revolution, obviously.
Should we talk about some fucking weird shaped skulls?
We can do. So, weird skulls, elongated skulls, they've always been the subject of heated scientific debate. Were the skulls deliberately deformed to resemble ancient sky gods or Anunnaki overlords, or were they just cone-head shapes of extraterrestrial origin, or were they just done intentionally?
Were they a genetic branch of humans, an offshoot that were naturally born genetically with cone-shaped heads? Excuse me.
That's a possibility. I mean, evolution, mutation is rife. At the end of the day.
I think
It is, but it tends to be small evolutions, small genetic changes.
But there's been several off branches of humanity who just say that one did have a cone head.
Yeah, they found them hobbit-like people recently, didn't they?
Yeah.
the main schools of thought seem to think that these elongated skulls are either Nephilim, which are the biblical
Oh, the
things,
angels.
aren't they? Or Anunnaki, or some human alien hybrid, or just full alien, or an offshoot of Homo sapiens that just had weird heads.
Maybe.
So they're your main theories. I'm
Maybe.
not down for the Nephilims.
No.
Bible shit.
Or the Anunnaki, really.
Ah, come on.
Maybe.
It's all drawings of aliens.
They do have
They've
them
got
big
fucking
heads.
weird shaped heads, haven't they?
They do have them big heads, I'll give you that.
Well, should we look at the evidence before we make up our minds?
Well, I was thinking that maybe in the way that big butts are considered attractive now, maybe coneheads were considered attractive back then.
Well, they were definitely, they think anthropologists prophesise, I think that's a word. It was the elites of society doing this, or the leaders.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
To sort of elevate
symbol
themselves.
Symbol of status.
Yeah, status symbol to be above the little weaklings. So it was definitely seen for some fucking weird reason, having a pointy fucking head. Maybe it was like, ooh, check out the big brain on fucking pointy head Ben.
Let's not forget that all throughout the line, through ancient history, the aristocracy have always been really fucking inbred. Let's not just rule this out as some kind of inbreeding defamation.
If some cousin one time had a bit of a pointy head, and they banged their other cousin who had a less slightly pointy head, they made another pointy head, and they carried on like that, and bred it like dogs, and just created a little fucking...
pointy head dynasty.
A little tribe of pointy-headed...
That's it. If they had a baby, normal head, chucking off a cliff, try again.
Start again.
Or stick its head in a vice.
Or stick its head in a vice.
Well, yeah, just artificially.
Literally. That's not me. If you've never looked into this, listener, sticking the baby's head in a vice is not me making a sick joke.
No, that's a genuine...
It's actually... Well...
They strapped the baby down to 2 planks of wood.
Yeah, isn't it called something defamation?
Cranial defamation.
Cranial defamation, that's it. Done on purpose.
Artificial cranial defamation is correct.
There you go.
Yeah.
So...
But the thing is, you've got deepens when you consider that numerous powerful rulers had the elongated skulls, but these are all present in different corners of the world. I mean, you're talking cultures that were separated by vast distances, but all seem to like a bit of conehead. I mean, you got Peru, Egypt. They were doing this in France up to the 20th century.
Yeah, but how many civilizations is that?
I have got quite.
You're talking about a handful.
I've got a few lists.
Yeah, but they're spread across the world.
Think of thousands of civilizations. Maybe there's...
Maybe not everyone knows about the Anunnaki.
Maybe it's a coincidence that they just... 2 or 3 happen to like big skulls.
Or maybe they were the only civilizations who still had access to the knowledge of where we really come from.
Maybe.
Well, you've got Africa, Eastern Germany, Native North Americans, Australia, South America and the Caribbean, where these things have been found, and Europe. I mean, like I say, France, they were doing it in France until the 20th century.
Squishing the baby skulls.
But it could be, in Europe, it could be skull binding, where they just wrap the head of a baby in straps until it started growing upwards.
And stick it in a vice.
Or stick it in the vice.
Squish its head.
I think the main thing is, like, why would they want to do it?
Well, like you say, going back, there was a pharaoh known as Akhenaten, some fucking like that.
Sounds a lot like Anunnaki, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's a bit.
Well, there's some sculptures, not mummies, just sculptures of his children. They've got big old cone heads, right? And he was known to be interested in the ancient mystic schools, which I don't think was very popular. You know, going against the religions of the time. You know, so maybe he was a bit fascinated, they're saying, with the old elongated skull, because maybe he knew through the ancient mystics of our Anunnaki origins, and he wanted it to be known, I'm fucking descendant from the so-called gods of Egypt, who might have actually been ancient aliens.
Maybe he was a massive megalomaniac, because he had a bit of a cone head going on, but well, the kid's going to have one too. That shows I'm superior to these fuckers. Oh, by the way, also, I like the fact that I'm a living god as Pharaoh.
There was also the fact that most of the depictions of him and sculptures and that have all been damaged or destroyed. They think by the priests of the time, who for some reason hated this motherfucker.
Because his
grave was desecrated. Yeah, because he thought he was connected to those alien gods.
And he's also been always in the ones that have survived on. He's depicted as being very thin and spindly, with this sort of large
female-ish body. They say he was androgynous.
Yes.
Could have had some weird skeleton disease. Could have been an alien.
Well, most of the pharaohs were.
Could have been a transsexual alien.
Had some kind of genetic disorder in some way.
That must tick all your boxes. A transsexual alien. Fucking hell.
They green.
Yeah.
As long as they're going to call me ma'am.
Have you you seen that footage?
I've seen that footage.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And the various memes.
It's ma'am!
Yeah. It's like a pro wrestler.
He literally looks like he could beat the fuck out of me. I'd be terrified if I worked there. Anyway, sorry, dangerous subject.
So, let's read a little bit of this article. It says, ancient Peruvian schools reveal the expertise of Inca cranial surgeries. So long before anaesthesia and the advent of precision medical tools, humans were already performing complex surgeries on one another in an effort to beat all sorts of ailments. Among the most gruesome may be the act of trepanation, or trepanning, I think it's also called, isn't it?
Yeah, it needs a good trepanning.
Oh, yeah, who doesn't?
I'm big in Japan.
Hey! This is king of puns again, I think.
Yeah.
In which parts of the skull were scraped, cut or drilled away to treat everything from headaches or injuries or suspected demonic possession.
I've got a bit of a headache, doctor.
Yeah.
What do you suggest? I'm going to cut away the flesh of your head and scrape away some of the bone of your skull.
Without anaesthesia.
Oh, that sounds a lot less painful.
Yeah.
What the fuck? People lived through all this, though.
They did, yeah, they survived.
Yeah.
Hundreds of prehistoric skulls bearing the telltale holes of trepanation have been found in Peru alone, dating as far back as the year 400 BC. Despite their prehistoric methods, researchers say the ancient neurosurgeons were experts at the task during the Inca Empire, and the survival rate for the procedure was roughly double what was achieved centuries later during the American Civil War.
Wow.
But then again, that was
They're
very
using
much,
a lot of cocaine in their surgery, though.
well, yeah, they had anaesthetic then because it was they had that, but there wasn't probably a lot of it. So I'd imagine a lot that would have been safe for the higher ups.
Yeah. Maybe
The average soldier who's just had his leg mangled by a cannonball is
well, most of it is infection.
Still
isn't
has
it?
infection as well.
Maybe
yeah.
they learned to sterilise the instruments.
Or whatever they put on top to dress it.
Maybe.
You know, because there are leaves and stuff that
Yeah.
prevent infections.
Maybe they were taught by the Anunnaki.
Maybe.
Or maybe they figured out penicillin or something.
Hang on. In all fairness, the mortality rate was still between 17 and 25%.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, during the Civil War, it was between 46 and 56%, but still, roughly a quarter chance of death.
Yeah,
And
that's
half
not-
a chance, isn't it?
Not bad considering they're like jungle folk.
Not bad considering they're doing it with what? A bit of sharp fucking flint?
But then again,
They haven't steel tools, have
the
they?
people in the Civil War were soldiers and they were going to be injured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the 17 and 25%, all they had was a headache and they just drilled a hole in the head. Next thing is, one of them, he dies.
Well, that's a valid point, because remember you're still using lead bullets during the Civil War, so
Yeah.
that
So-
goes into you. So you don't take the
So if
bullet.
you start
all
with
the bullet-
healthy patients, it's more
Yeah.
likely you're going to have a lower mortality rate than if you start with injured patients.
That's a valid point, because they've already had blood loss.
But I think they are doing quite well considering they're scraping bits of
Well, yeah.
people's skulls.
Pretty
off
impressive, isn't it?
It is.
Drilling
I'm
holes
trying to
in
think
their
of ways why there's that discrepancy, but
Well, they were just good, man. They were good at what they did. It says there, though, the practice is known to have occurred all over the world, but the experts say no area comes even close to matching Peru's history with trepanation. Hundreds of skulls, mostly found in burial caves and during excavations in the late 1800s and early 1900s, account for more trepan skulls than all found in the rest of the world combined.
Wow.
According to researchers, hygiene likely played a key role in the success of Peru's prehistoric cranial surgeries. So you were right, Mike. And over nearly 2,000 years, these ancient surgeons refined their techniques to cause as little damage as possible. The same could not be said for Civil War surgeons, who had often relied on unsterilised tools and probed open head wounds with their bare fingers.
Well, you're in a rush, aren't you? I mean, also remember, like, a valid point is, you're a Civil War surgeon. You're not just haven't got leisurely afternoon to trepan someone's skull. You've got to take a limb off in under 2 minutes, because you've got another 1,000 blokes outside needing exactly the same thing.
Maybe this is a little bit unfair on Civil War.
I think it is a little
doctors,
bit unfair.
but it's not really about that, is it? It's more to prove the point that it's pretty impressive that these prehistoric folks
Oh, God, yeah.
understood to keep things clean and, maybe it's almost like the official history isn't quite lined up, is it? It's almost like we were more advanced than we're led to believe
Yeah, because...
earlier than we that they tell us. And they'll never change their official story. For some fucking reason they don't want us to know. It's daft. I don't get why, how it would hurt to know. But the back and we were led to believe that we were still like mainly hunter-gatherer type, you know, wild humans. We were still the same species we are now, with the same biological makeup. So you like to think maybe we were as intelligent as we are now. And maybe we had technology way beyond our wildest dreams that explained some of the stone fucking structures of the world.
Pima Punku for a start, the Incan city there.
Which does line up with these skulls, because some of the lectures I was watching claim that these skulls are found along like the lines of where megalith stone ancient structures are. You tend to find these skulls as well, apparently. So there's, you know, I guess because they were elite, noble people. Or were they direct descendants from the Anunnaki? Oh, the lords!
Or they were just totally obsessed with skulls.
Yeah. I mean, they were into the whole human sacrifice thing.
Yeah.
A lot of their...
Either they drilled a hole in it, or they elongated it.
Put it in a
They
vice.
loved doing stuff with skulls.
What do you want?
At least to shrink them. Didn't they call shrunken heads?
Yeah.
From that area.
I don't know. I think that's
People weren't still alive though.
Peru and Ecuador, yeah.
But do you think there's any truth to these people that think that some of these skulls are genetic, that they were born this way?
Yeah, there's a possibility. Mutation, you know?
Because,
let's face it, they don't know, do they know about inbreeding at this point? They're all going to be in small communities, they're all going to be related somehow.
it was interesting, one guy claimed that from the DNA of the skulls, because they have this red hair, and they claim that this dark red hair it's not from dying, it's genetic, it's naturally that colour. Which then they say leads you to believe that they might be light-skinned, which doesn't fit in with how you would expect a native Peruvian of 3,000 years ago to look. So light-skinned, green-eyed, dark red-haired coneheads sound like freaks to me. Were they maybe some of the...
like a grunge band.
Some offshoot. But I did say earlier, yeah they do, before the mics were on, I was thinking on the one lecture, in quotes, I'll say that I watched, they claim that there's like they've got the skull of a 2-year-old and it's elongated, it's huge. So they say this is evidence it was born with a cone head, it's genetic. And I was thinking, oh man, I wonder what happened that the 2-year-old died and you've got a 2-year-old skeleton. And then I thought, oh yeah, probably because they were putting its head in a fucking vice from the second it was born. I bet they're thinking we could start this process earlier and earlier.
Course, because
we want the babies to have it.
Head is more malleable as a baby.
And they fucking squeezed this poor fucker to death, probably.
I've actually seen pictures of like babies and they're like smiling and they've got their heads crushed by this vice.
Oh, man.
It's, you know, it's fucking insane.
I did learn something that's quite interesting. From this artificial way of doing it, though, you can't increase the volume of the skull. Just like the shape of it, really. It doesn't like make the brain cavity like bigger, therefore having a bigger brain that fills. No, but maybe the ones that quote born with it, maybe they do have bigger brains. Maybe they are. Maybe they could do telekinesis and levitate and stuff. Because maybe they're half Anunnaki. Maybe they're a bit more mongrel.
Speculation,
More.
but yeah.
Speculation, Mike. Have you not read the tablets of Zacharias? I've not read them either.
Well, baby skulls are pretty malleable, though, aren't they? I mean, there's the softest part, that little soft spot of their head, don't they? I mean, should we explain how it's done?
Yeah.
So basically, they get the kid, strap it down on one board, they put another over it, so of a 45-degree angle, and he's going to leave him there for a bit.
Squish him.
Or they bind the head in straps, thick padding, and then sometimes they'll just, put them in a vice, like Mike said, just two bits of wood either side, let the skull grow up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard to do.
Yeah.
But why? Okay.
Why did they do it?
Did they just think then that a pointy head's better than a round head or a flat head, or were they paying tribute to some sort of fucking weird alien, or maybe long lost race of human, maybe the Nephilim?
There's an article on that. Do you want to read it?
Go on then.
So why did ancient Peruvians have elongated skulls? And apparently, no, it's not aliens.
Fuck!
Artificial skull elongation has been practiced by a strangely high number of cultures in practically every corner of the world, from Western Europe to the Americas, the Far East and Africa. But why would people bind their babies' heads to give themselves a pear-shaped skull? Well, for one 600-year-old civilization in South America, it was probably to show you were a VIP. Yeah. A new study published in the journal Current Anthropology has taken a look at elongated skulls of the Calagua people who lived in the Cauca Valley in southeastern Peru around 1100 to 1450 CE.
What's CE?
Good question.
I have no idea.
Central Eastern.
Yeah.
It's a fancy way of saying BC.
Carter enough is something I've heard of a lot.
That's Google.
Through measuring carbon and nitrogen isotopes analysis of the bones, researchers show that the Calagua women with elongated distended heads ate a more varied diet, indicating they were perhaps more privileged. These remains of these women, who also appear to have fewer signs of physical violence against them, wow, that's a tragic society, once again suggesting they were from a higher echelon of society. Wow, so, hey, she wasn't beat up as much, she must be better off.
Well, yeah, the ones that weren't in the echelons were the masters, and the other ones were the slaves, probably. That's why they're beaten. Right?
Yeah.
Learning moment.
Learning with Gaz.
Learning with Gaz and Google. So you got AD Anno Domini, which is Latin for in the year of our Lord. So we got AD, and then you got BCE.
I always thought that meant after death.
So did I, actually.
Before Christ, and after death.
Anno
BC,
Domini.
yeah, it says BC refers to before Christ,
yeah,
and the initials AD stand for Anno Domini.
I just thought it meant after death.
Which is Latin, in the year of our Lord.
Or
anyway.
After birth, though, wouldn't it, technically?
So then you were after birth.
A more recent system, so that system was devised by a monk in the year 525. A more recent system uses BCE, which stands for before the Common Era, and CE for Common Era.
Ah.
So whatever the fuck did that say, that date? Something
1100 CE.
Common Era.
Taking the religion out of our calendar.
Fuck no, I still don't understand.
No, I don't. I'll teach stone.
Maybe the listener, it made sense to them, and we've helped.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The study also made clear that more and more schools are being elongated, even amongst the lower classes, as the pressure from the Inca Empire grew. Perhaps they were looking for some kind of sense of belonging during a time of strife.
I suppose all the wealthy people have got big heads. You'd start copying them, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah.
You'd want to be one of them.
Well, isn't that just celebrityism nowadays?
Yeah.
Oh, so-and-so's wore that dress, so a million other girls go and buy the same thing.
And 100 years ago, everyone wanted to spit on the Queen.
So they're all going around sticking their heads in vices.
Yeah.
It would have been.
Wrapping their babies'
Strap
heads.
me up, Mum!
Well, they'd have to do it to their kids, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
You're going to do it as an adult.
Probably not.
So you'd be like, well, when I have a kid, I'm going to make sure they're going to be,
So they got a chance to live in the, not be a slave and be a master.
And any old fucking tramp can knock together one of them vice things, can't they?
It's two planks of wood. It's literally 2 planks of wood.
Steal them off a rich man's fence.
Oh, you just got the forest.
Yeah, there is that. I'd be more
Probably
the steely
safer.
type though, I think. If I was around in the year 5-2, whatever the fuck it was, I'd... anyway.
Maybe there's just like one communal set in a village, someone locked together.
And you each have to like... It's like a hippie thing where you're like, oh, we all get like 10 minutes to put a baby in the vice.
Yeah.
Nah, people would end up brawling over it.
Yeah, probably. Unless you had to book a time.
I'd make my own.
Nevertheless, the majority of archaeologists believe that this practice often had something to do with social status, as we just said, and the sense of belonging to a group. Sorry, there's still no word on the alien connection yet.
Fuck you, they've tested the DNA.
But it could, well, yeah, they might have tested the DNA. Well, they did test the DNA.
In a really shit laboratory that was really cheap, yeah, I know. But it didn't come back human, did it?
Alien schools. Shock verdict after DNA tests reveal where the elongated heads come from. Researcher Brian Forrester, I guess that is, initially thought the discovery would not fit into the known evolutionary tree. The Paracas schools were discovered on the desert peninsula of Paracas, surprisingly, on the southern coast of Peru by native archaeologist Julio Tello in 1928.
Southern coast, I think. You can take Southern Comfort.
Did I?
You did.
Wow. Wow. I've been drinking a lot of that recently, in all fairness.
Problem.
Well, you're drinking gin now.
Yes, because it was the only booze left in the house after Christmas. I tried it.
He has a go at me for drinking cider, Gaz. He says it's just fruit-based drink. It's for the ladies.
And
he turns up with gin.
Gin's for drinking Victorian orphans.
Your lad's mother's ruined by the end of the podcast.
Juniper berries and things like that, isn't it? You get slow gin and things.
It's
Like
very
It's just
trendy at the
dry
moment,
gin.
isn't it? It's very hipster.
This is just dry gin. It's just normal gin.
Yeah,
It's made from a berry.
very hipster to be drinking gin, Ben.
Well,
Where's your Edwardian moustache?
I can't grow
your
one.
Cape
I'd like a cape though.
and your scarves around your ankles.
Nah, I haven't got one of them either.
Ankle
Sorry.
scarves. It's going to be a new thing. Trust me for the hipsters.
Okay.
He's only got a man bag.
Well, I can't say that. My man bag's got RoboCop Detroit Police printed on it, so I can get away with that.
Mine's a laptop bag.
That's a bit middle class.
This guy's a laptop.
It's a bit gay.
What else would you like to transport the laptop, Gaz?
I don't know, carry it in your hands like
So
a
everyone
man.
can see it when I'm walking home?
Yeah. I'll put it in a rucksack like a normal
I haven't
person.
got a rucksack. I don't own a rucksack. It came with the laptop.
Man bag. Looks a lot like a handbag, doesn't it?
It's got a strap. It's like a briefcase bag.
Briefcase wanker.
Management now.
Oh dear, sorry.
I'm on to
Look,
gin
it's a
and
lovely bag.
briefcases.
It's a lovely bag. I can't say anything.
Did
I've
Gerald
got a
get onto
satchel.
gin?
No.
He didn't.
I explained it was the only booze left in the house after Christmas. I tried, someone liked it.
A likely tale.
I needed booze, alright.
He thought to himself, I'm going to be a hipster. What do these youths drink now?
Copying Gerald, didn't he?
Yeah. I know, I've got to impress Gerald. I'll get a bottle of gin.
I knew this was coming. The second I said I was drinking gin, I knew this
course.
was coming.
He said the piss out of us.
Exactly.
We're going to let you off, will we?
Gin!
Just remember that every
Who
time
are you, my anti-fucking Jenny?
The Queen Mother.
You're going to be smoking Super Kings over there as well to go with your gin.
Actually, yeah, I would, to be fair. You got any?
Do you want an umbrella in your drink?
Yeah, if you would mind.
I haven't got any super shit.
He fucking didn't have a glass, did he?
No.
I was joking.
Fucking hell.
They were in the wash. Oh dear, gin. So anyway, where were we? Would you like to
Jesus,
talk
fucking-
more about aliens?
Just,
I'm making a joint.
scum of the earth.
Just gin. Don't take it out on us because you're a class traitor. Who's decided I'm going to drink gin.
It's cheap!
I'll drink gin on the podcast.
It's cheap.
No,
That bottle in there was 12 quid and I spent that on lager alone.
no more lager for me. It's gin all the way.
And, you know, me on a diet.
You'll be going to a gin bar next.
Oh no, I
to
don't
meet,
mind
to
that.
meet up with some 20-somethings with their moustaches. And be like, oh, let me be a friend.
I draw the
I'm
line
cool
at gin
like you."
bars. I draw the line
I
at
know
that.
I'm management, but I'm cool as well.
Maybe I was having a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Might be a more logical
Look, I've got a
explanation.
cape, guys.
I don't draw the line at a cape, in all fairness. I just really don't.
I just have the image of Ben trying to befriend hipsters. Young hipsters. Everything you say is politically incorrect as well, and just digging yourself into a bigger hole
The more
with
gin I drink, the more politically incorrect I
More
get.
fascist you become.
You can't say that, Ben. Oh, fuck off.
You
William
hipster twat.
fucking moustache. Throws a glass at someone.
End up kicking one of the balls and glassing him.
Well,
Well, you can take the boy out of door.
you tried. You tried to be cool with the
Yeah.
people.
Scenarios. Anyway, back to the aliens.
Yeah, alien skulls.
Yeah, in 2015, discussing earlier DNA tests on the remains, he said that the mitochondrial DNA from the mother presented mutations unknown to any man, primate, or any other animal, and the mutation suggests we are dealing with a completely new human-like being, very distant from Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, or Denisovans. I've never heard of them.
Oh yeah, Denisovans.
Is that where all the Denises come from?
The Neanderthals killed them out because they're all Denises. They're all a bit like, oh hello, I've come to fix the boiler. I don't know. Anyway, I'm talking shit. Carry on.
He says that I'm not even sure if it will fit into the known evolutionary tree.
Oh.
Research by skeptics later uncovered that those involved had a history of involvement and belief in research into paranormal subjects such as the Yeti and so-called alien hybrids, an alleged crossbreed between humans and aliens.
Doesn't mean they're not right.
It doesn't.
Skeptics argue the skull was just another example of intentional cranial deformation as seen amongst many ancient South American tribes. That one's got a lump in the middle of its head though, that's...
Yeah. That one went a
Probably,
bit wrong.
yeah, it did.
Yeah.
They wrapped it wrong.
But Brian Forrester believes the DNA results show a subspecies of humans. They're a mix, or even you could say in some ways a hybrid of different people. He is now the director of Paracas History Museum and has released details of DNA tests he said were carried out in conjunction with the Peruvian government, and he now appears to now accept that they were more probably human in origin.
Oh.
So yeah, it's obviously it was done shittly then.
But still might be aliens.
Could it still be aliens?
But still, we can't prove whether or not they were trying to look like aliens because I've seen them or heard about them in stories passed down and in cave drawings.
It all boils down to why, doesn't it?
Aliens.
Are you actually going for aliens?
I'm going for they were worshipping our Anunnaki overlords who, as we all know then, and Mike, I'm sure we're all willing to accept here, that they came to Earth and seeded a sort of lower race of, you know, Homo sapiens before we were fully evolved. They spunked us and created what you now see before you, the almighty human being.
Like you in particular?
Well, I'm a fine specimen, Ben, as I'm sure you'll agree.
No,
fuck you. So yeah, we were seeded by the Anunnaki. We were created to mine the gold mines, for them to have gold to seal the hole in their atmosphere back in their planet, Planet X.
Yeah.
A bit like the plot to the film Stargate then.
I think Stargate copied the fucking...
Oh, which came first?
Well, Stargate's obviously a Hollywood rip-off of what Zachariah Sitchin translated in the tablets, because it was before, I hate to break it to you, it was before Stargate.
You mean Kurt Russell lied to me?
I would like that film, to be fair.
Yeah, you know what? Better than the series.
Yeah, I didn't really get into the series. I think I watched a couple.
It's all... Anyway, yeah, so the Anunnaki. I believe these people were trying to look like the Anunnakis.
Do you think that in terms of the pharaohs and stuff like that, who were further back from the Peruvians,
even they were trying
they were
to
either descended from them distantly, so that they've all maybe they were born with these heads, because that's like a bit of an offshoot genetically. But even though it might have been sort of 25 generations down the line,
possibly that could be definitely be
and
true.
that's why they got the pyramids that line up with the stars.
Because they had big old cone heads full of cone brains that could think all these alien thoughts.
Well, someone's got a plan where them pyramids go.
Mathematical alien knowledge which was gathered from getting high and communicating on the astral plane with our Anunnaki overlords in another dimension, in another dimension, in another dimension.
Brains in another dimension.
I think it's entirely possible they were trying to look like aliens out of respect to our
or was it just a symbol of, hey, look at me?
I've got a big head.
No, I'm descended from I'm part of the ruling class.
But it could just be as simple as, look at the size of me fucking head, mate. I'm a lot cooler than you. I am royaler than you will ever be, boy.
And those funny little hats they used to wear with the little snake on the front, like I've seen in other films, that have fitted better on a cone head.
Do you think they made people oil their comb?
Possibly.
Like they had servants who would oil their...
Well, the thing is, what I have seen, and what I've learned more than anything from this researching this topic, is that cone heads with hair look freaky as fuck.
Yeah, and it's red hair as well.
Yeah, you've got to shave it. You've got to shave it. You've got to shave that cone head. You've got to bick it.
So imagine
shave your cone head.
Yeah, you've got to bick that cone head.
Imagine 3,000 years ago you're a Peruvian. You know, everyone's dark skinned, and then you see these fuckers, light skinned, green eyed, bright. You seen it, that bright fucking dark red hair and a big cone head. You see them coming over the hill? What the fuck?
What's that coming
over the hill? Is it a cone head? It's a cone head. You'd shoot it with arrows, wouldn't you? But no, they must have all got down on their knees and gone, oh,
so hang on.
almighty cone heads.
With the Anunnaki, ginger.
Yeah?
No, I'm not fucking bowing down to no ginge.
Or maybe that's why people like to say gingers have got no soul. Maybe that comes from...
Oh, fuck, now that makes sense.
Because we're actually Anunnaki, lizard brain overlord, intergalactic fucking leaders.
So all the gingers are descended from the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
So that makes Mike the head of this group.
I've got a bit of Anunnaki blood in me, I've got a ginger beard.
And you've got a bit of a pointy head, no, I'm joking. But you've got all the other things, so you could be Anunnaki. And he's a science officer, so you must get that fucking intergalactic knowledge from somewhere. You haven't done mushrooms recently, have you? So it's got to come from somewhere.
Maybe.
Well, I think we've cracked it, lads.
Well, Mike's descended from the Anunnaki.
Yeah. So should we wrap up the weird skulls?
Can I go for a piss first?
Go on then.
And we're back.
Yeah. So apparently this is Rational Wiki now, and I think the clue's in the name. They try to get to the factual nature of things, don't they?
You do like a bit of fact.
Sorry, I'm just lighting a marijuana cigarette.
Allegedly.
Because that's where we get our truth from. That's why I come up with all the bollocks I speak.
Opens up that third eye.
Yeah. So those DNA tests that we talked about that claimed there was no human or alien stuff found. It was claimed the test showed that the skull's DNA contained mutations that did not match any known human or primate DNA samples. The test results were announced by Breen Forrester, Assistant Director of the Paracas History Museum and a prolific author on pseudo-scientific subjects, who had previously collaborated with pseudo-historian David Hatcher Childress. According to Rachel Chase, Forrester has little in the way of relevant scientific qualifications, but runs a tour company and was a regular on the very unscientific History Channel show Ancient Aliens.
Hey! Actually, but you know the guy that does that? No degrees in archaeology, degree in physical fitness. He's no more qualified than we are, boys. So we can get to that level one day.
We already are at that level, mate.
No, we're going to show on the History Channel. When we get to that, we'll be alright.
We're going to do a podcast.
Well, this bit might be relevant as well. The museum is a private company owned by a man with no scientific qualifications, not an academic institution, and the results were announced not in a peer-reviewed journal but online. Suspiciously, the geneticist who supposedly conducted the tests refused to own up, and his or her identity was kept secret by Forrester. As in, they probably never existed.
But even though Forrester then came out later on and said, "Yeah, you know what, probably not alien."
Well, later tests contradicted the earlier results, but were promoted as upsetting ideas about the population of the Americas. Forrester also suggested that the people may have migrated from the Caucasus.
Caucasus?
Caucasus.
Caucasus.
Yeah, something like that. Forrester rejected claims that the skulls could have been formed by skull binding, claiming that the volume of the skull was too large to have been produced by deformation. Even the notorious creationist website Answers in Genesis has criticised Forrester's work, calling out the lack of professionalism in the anonymous report by a rogue geneticist, and suggesting that the skulls were clearly human.
Wow, if they're coming out and saying it, wow.
I love the picture attached to this page.
Just a shitty 3D elf.
Yeah?
It's a shitty 3D elf, just as the truth is out there. What's that got to do with anything?
It looks nothing like the heads that was...
It's because it's got a cone head.
You know, but it's
so shit.
You can tell this article hasn't been updated for a while.
It's so
yes,
shit.
it's about 1995 by the looks of it.
Well, just because we don't know who the geneticist was.
I don't think it was him.
Wasn't that elf? Or maybe it was.
Maybe it was. Unless it's Brian Forrester.
Look, just because we don't know the name of the geneticist doesn't mean that his work is necessarily untrue. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but he could be the geneticist equivalent of Dr. Nick for all we know.
But once I'm
Hi,
going
everybody!
But once I'm going with aliens, because I like all that ancient alien shit. So, you know, me calling it shit that's not a reflection of how I think of it. I think there's some truth to it.
I have watched a few of them recently.
Yeah.
Because they're all on catch up, and I was like, go on, I'll fucking see.
That's shit when you're high.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking hell. They make some massive leaps in that. Oh my god. Oh, really, it's just like you watch it, and even me on a...
Well, speaking of massive leaps, despite what Rational Wiki says, I still think there might be something extraterrestrial to it.
You know what, Gaz? I'm going to go with you. I think they're imitating somebody.
Yeah, they're imitating Anunnaki overlords who came down and did magical things.
I'm more than likely to go to the Egyptians, which it was genetic amongst the ruling classes.
Maybe.
And the rest was copying. But yeah, I go that they're imitating somebody.
And that Egyptian pharaoh's daughters with the cone heads, based on the statues, were fucking hot, man. So I can safely say I would have definitely beamed one of them cone heads. Wouldn't have put me.
No
out.
surprise there, Gaz.
Well, you know, just saying. For the record. Prosperity. So we've got another article here, haven't we, about the weirdest skulls ever found.
Yeah.
So what other weird skulls are there in the world?
Well, there's you got these obviously the alien-like skulls that have been discovered in Mexico. They look a bit more coney than what we've seen, especially in the jawline.
They look like the actual alien from the movie Alien.
They do a little bit, don't they? Yeah.
They gotta be fake.
H.R. Geiger design.
Archaeologists recently unearthed 13 alien-looking skulls in a cemetery in western Mexico. The skulls date somewhere between 945 to 1308 AD. Originally, the skulls baffled researchers. However, under close examination, the skulls were discovered to be human skulls that formed into alien-like shapes. Oh, that's a disappointment. Don't throw me fucking...
How did they warp, though? Maybe it wasn't after death. Maybe they warped because they were shape-shifting.
You really pushing the alien thing.
Well, I'm just trying to be open-minded for once.
However, the children in the cemetery were all between 5 months and 16 years of age. You ever heard the Star Child skull?
No.
That's a creepy one. On the left is the skull they found.
It looks like a skull that's had a rock dropped on it in a cartoon. It's just a bit flattened out.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just a deformation, deformed. Born deformed.
Yeah,
like
mutation.
Well, I think that's what they settled on, basically.
Like the elephant man.
It is what they settled on, but it's still a creepy looking skull. You can check that out on Google. It's 900 years old, found in Mexico. Believed by many to be the product of either extraterrestrial origin or genetic manipulation. A paranormal researcher, Lloyd Pye,
It's always with the
owner of the school, claims the specimen was discovered around 1930 in a mine tunnel in Mexico. He has had many tests conducted on the skull and believes it's a hybrid offspring of an extraterrestrial and a human female. It's vastly different from the shape of a human skull. It's a lot bigger and rounder and has abnormally shaped eye sockets. There are also no frontal sinuses. Pye has documented at least 25 major physical differences between the Star Child skull and a normal human skull. Some scientists, however, believe that the skull exhibits all the characteristics of a human child who had died as a result of congenital hydrocephalus.
Is that a bad case of squishing your fucking head?
Maybe. That one's a bit creepy.
That looks like Starscream or somebody.
A mysterious skull was discovered in the mountains of Bulgaria in 2001. Primary DNA results revealed the presence of a material that doesn't match human bones, and the skull is unlike any skeleton remains ever found. Along with the skull discovery, a small disc-shaped metal fragment was also found. This skull is currently the subject of scientific scrutiny, and it is unknown whether it's a hoax or not. The 38-year-old man who found the skull is said to have only shared it with a narrow circle of scientists and people with a pronounced interest in the paranormal. Well, I'm down with that one.
I think it's
Throw me in for that one. That looks creepy as shit.
been carved out of the hip bone of something else.
Yeah, and the fact that he's not sharing it with proper scientists is
Well,
gives it away.
I'm with him.
Yeah, he carved that out of the hip bone. Anyway, what's next?
The horn skull. It's the last one in the article.
Oh, fuck me.
The notorious horn skull has been documented over and over, but still no one is sure whether or not it is a hoax. Even if it is real, the specimens are more likely cases of anatomical curiosity than the proof of demons or aliens. The skull was supposedly found in the 1880s in a large burial mound in Zaire. The archaeological team who made the discovery was supposedly highly regarded in the field. The following report was made. The skeletons belonged to anatomically normal men with the exception of bony projections located about 2 inches above the eyebrows. It appeared the skulls had horns. The bones were characterised as giant as they were representative of people over 7 feet tall. Scientists estimated the bodies had been buried around 1200 AD. However, these artefacts were stolen and never seen again. There are some photographs, but that hasn't stopped skeptics from calling bullshit. Well, I like the horned ones. Massive. Maybe they're demons.
Maybe it was
aliens. Alien demons.
Maybe it was someone just fucking about by creating. I want to create a mystery, so I'm gonna fucking create a fake skeleton with horns that's 7 foot tall. And one day people will be really freaked out over this shit.
Maybe.
You know, people were all up for pranks back in them days, weren't they?
Well, let's never, get over the fact of the human sense of humour.
That's very true.
No, I think it's a demon.
Fair enough. 7 foot tall
Is that
demons.
your scientific opinion? Fair enough.
7 foot tall horned demons.
Yeah.
Well,
Escape from hell.
Well, why not? Maybe they drove too far down.
Maybe.
Should we give our final opinions on the elongated skulls? Ben, what are you saying?
I'm going to go with, I think they were copying someone.
Yeah.
Whether that be our Anunnaki overlords or aliens, or whether there was an alien ruling class back in the day that certainly some members of the higher castes of society were descended from, and they had them as genetic, and other people copied it.
Yeah.
Or maybe, it was just a similar status. I think they're copying someone or something.
Yeah, I'm with you,
I
Ben.
agree. Yeah, I agree completely. They're copying the Anunnaki.
Well, I'm not sure about that one, but...
Yeah.
They're copying something. There's got to be a reason for it. It's not just... But then again, never discount the fashions of the time. I mean, in China, they used to bind little girls' feet up because that was considered attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this was considered attractive back then.
That's what I'm going with. I'm going with that. There's a slight possibility of the alien thing, but minuscule.
I'll go with alien.
Well, I'm going to jump on the alien train, obviously, because for the first time it's not just me saying aliens.
For once, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I hate alien abduction stories, but ancient aliens, I'm down for that. I'm really high too.
So you going to some weird news?
Yeah, can I top my gin up?
Top your gin if you want.
Top up the gin.
So let's finish off with some weird news then.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
What's next? Wow! Man trampled to death while trying to hypnotise wild elephant in Sri Lanka. That's fantastic.
You get what you ask for in life.
You do. A man has been trampled to death by a wild elephant in Sri Lanka as his distraught family watched on. The man jumped out of his car in Katagama near Yatta National Park in a bid to stop the elephant and hypnotise it.
Is he thinking it's crocodile Dundee?
Exactly.
Oh, fucking hell, can't hypnotise an elephant. Oh shit, is that a photo of the actual...
There's video of it.
Oh fuck.
Apparently you can hear his family screaming in the background.
Oh.
Yeah, they cut it out just as impact's meant to be made.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I don't want to see it.
I do. I want to see if there's impact.
No, I don't want to see it, man.
But his
In front
trick...
of his family.
I do, because he's a fucking moron. He deserves it.
Yeah, but I still need to see it. It's good enough I know it happened, but I don't want to see it.
Well,
but anyway.
I've got a description of what happens. It's okay.
Tell me about it.
His trick spectacularly failed when the huge animal turned and ran towards him, knocking him to the ground as he tried to get away. The elephant then lifts one leg, I'm going to add the word, hopefully casually, and tramples him, crushing him to death on the spot.
Wow.
The daughter of the man can be heard screaming and crying as soon as the man was trampled by the wild animal. The forest department in Sri Lanka is aware of the man's death and said they are sorry for the loss to his family. And their officers are ready to help and support the family at this distressing time. Well, don't fucking try and hypnotise a wild elephant, you daft prick!
Fuck yeah.
This is a Darwin Award.
It is, isn't it?
Basically.
It is a Darwin Award.
One stamp for the leg. Dead. Fucking hell.
It's a fucking nearly a ton, isn't it, an elephant?
Oh, fuck knows, I couldn't tell you. They're fucking heavy, you know that much.
Yeah, don't get stood on by an
Oh.
elephant.
No.
Just imagine it.
They used to actually put people to death in India.
Just
by
see an elephant just
shooting
jumping
their
out,
chest.
going up to it and trying to hypnotise it. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, well, clearly he's got mental issues.
Maybe.
He's just a cocky prick.
Maybe.
Well, the fact that he's got someone to film it suggests he's taught the family into the fact he can do it.
Oh, my uncle taught me this trick when I was a kid. Did you ever actually see him do it? No, but he used to talk about it all the time.
Yeah, you can hypnotise elephants. You told me how to do it.
I can do this. Watch this, love. Watch this, honey. Daddy's gonna bring you an elephant.
Daddy's gonna bring the elephant to the car.
Yeah, Daddy, bring me an elephant. Daddy.
Smash. Crush.
Daddy! Oh.
Oh, fuck.
I hope he wasn't the only one that could drive in that car, because otherwise they're stuck there.
That's the least they're concerned, I think, at that point.
Well, no, my concern is that the elephant's going to get angry and nick the car, if that's where he came from, and start T-Rex and get across the road. That's what I'm concerned with.
Well, well, he deserved it, really, didn't he?
Oh shit, that was what that screaming was we heard earlier when the sound was playing. Do you remember? Not on the one off mic.
Yeah, I remember. So earlier, me and Ben, video started playing, but we couldn't see it. We could just hear it, and it was screaming. And it sounded like Japanese porn. But now I realise it was a family watching their father die. Still did sound kind of similar to a Japanese porn. But hey, well, unlucky.
Yeah.
Stay away from elephants, kids.
Yeah. Or any wild animal.
Yeah.
Do not attempt to interact with wild animals.
Good rule for life.
Yeah.
I feed foxes.
Yeah, but you're not there feeding them by hand.
No.
They might
Say
get you by the jugular.
No, I don't
Get a
feed
taste
them.
for the flesh.
I'd love to be able to feed them like that by hand, but I leave the food out for them and then I can see them from the upstairs window.
Fair enough. That's nice.
That's
like
about-
foxes.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go up to a fucking elephant.
No, I wouldn't go. I made friends with a wild fox one night. Sort of. It walked up the road with me. It was very young. And it ran off.
Yeah.
I got video of it on Facebook.
I remember seeing it actually.
I was singing to it.
Yeah.
Fox on the run. And it seemed to like my singing and it followed me. It was a lovely encounter, Ben.
Oh wow.
You know, the only thing that could have made it better was if I was naked with like a fig leaf covering my
And
bits.
prancing along next to it.
Yeah, with a flute.
In your own mind, you probably were.
Yeah, that's how it felt. Like I was prancing through nature at one with the wildlife. But it wasn't an elephant, that's the difference.
That is a massive
And if it had
difference.
ran towards me, I would have fucking died screaming into the oncoming traffic.
It wasn't like, that bee just kicked it, couldn't you? As it came
Oh
towards
no, I
you.
would have ran and screamed if it came at me and jumped in front of a car, thus killing myself and ending the nightmare.
You seem quite depressed then, the sleeping pills kicking in.
Oh, it's just being funny. Anyway, next news story.
Okay. Woman slammed for disgusting act in supermarket after being caught on camera. The customer was out shopping at Foodworks in Collinsville, Queensland, Australia, when she decided to do something inappropriate. She dropped her trousers and urinated all over the floor in the shop.
Oh, is that all?
And footage has been released. The footage shared on Facebook by Foodworks shows her baring her bottom and relieving herself in the middle of the floor. Foodworks called out the customer in the now deleted post for her behaviour, writing, "If you need a toilet, just ask. Don't pee on the floor of Foodworks, please," they added.
Well, you know, she must have been desperate.
Maybe she had some kind of bladder condition.
Maybe she's some kind of pervert.
Maybe she's
Now,
some kind of
judging
pervert.
from the
Maybe she was
picture-
marking her territory.
Now, judging from the picture, I'm not going to lie, when you started to read the story, in my mind, instantly, she was a horrific skank.
I was thinking larger
Right,
lady.
yeah. Just some horrible, haggard, scumbag lady.
Like them Bernie lasses that shit in crisp packets.
Yeah,
Well, you know when
but
you-
instead,
you know when
it's
you
a
see-
hot. It's for. She looks pretty hot for all intents and purposes.
Can't see the
Good body.
face, but
The face is blurred out, obviously, but she's got like a nice sort of body and. But yeah, maybe she was just really desperate. Or maybe she's a pervert. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, but
she's a sub and her dom is watching from another aisle.
that's a good point.
Or she just really needed a pish.
pissing in the middle of a supermarket.
I mean, really needed a piss.
It does take some balls, doesn't it?
She really needed a piss.
I'm actually going to go with the sub-dom thing on that.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good possibility.
He's probably filming it. Oh dear.
Oh, I don't want to see that.
This isn't the first time someone's been caught going to toilet in an inappropriate location.
Is that a man having a
Recently,
shit?
it is.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
A similar incident occurred at Red Rooster in Townsville, Australia, about a month ago as the owner of the fast food store asked for help identifying a man pooing outside the shop.
Hey, when you got to go, you got to go.
At least he's doing it by some bins.
Yeah, he's around the back, isn't he? He's like...
He's not doing it in the fucking...
But maybe he should have
aisle.
gone to the loo in the restaurant.
Or maybe he thought, oh, I can't use the toilet in there because I want me to buy something. I've got no money on me. Some places are like that.
Yeah, so he just went and shat by the bin.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, yeah, at least it's behind the bin, no one can see. Apart from the perverts watching him on the camera. I wouldn't like to be the fucking minimum wage employee who's got to clean up the human shit in what looks like baking hot sun.
Yeah.
Go and scoop up
Well,
the
in
man
Australia,
shit.
it's fucking hot.
I'm not scooping up the man shit, you are scooping up the man shit. Get the bloody shovel.
In all fairness, guys, in that photo, that ain't solid. I think he just really needs you to go and thought, well, I've got to go be in them bins.
Looks kind of sloppy as well.
We've all been caught in that situation before now.
Yeah, well, I usually make it to a toilet.
Well, so do I, but in this case, he couldn't.
Well, fair. Why didn't he shit in his hat like a gentleman?
He's
He's wearing a cowboy hat for the listener.
Because then he'll get sunstroke.
If he's a
He's
real
in Australia.
And he's got shit in his hat.
And he's got shit.
Yeah, but if he's a true gentleman, he would have sacrificed his hat.
I just saved my hat.
Well, can we stop looking at the picture of the man shitting? I've been looking at that picture for too long. I get it, he was desperate, he didn't stop his shit in the sun behind a bin.
It's freeze framed actually with the shit on the floor on it.
It's more than I need to see in all fairness. But yet oddly hypnotic.
Arousing.
No. Sleep with yourself there.
Next.
Mike Tyson is hosting a cannabis-themed music festival on his 420-acre ranch.
He's gonna get you so he can rape you. Well, he has been known to be a bit rapey, hasn't he?
He has.
And a bit
Allegedly.
bitey. I do not want to get stoned with Mike Tyson as well.
I would be on edge.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to fucking
not
chill
already?
out. Exactly, he's fucking unhinged. He's one of them people who, you know, halfway through when you're nice and stoned, he'd be like, yeah, can I show you how hard I can punch? Like, I won't really hurt you, I'll just gently.
Yeah.
You know, one of them, you're like, no, please don't. And he's just like, boom, boom, boom. Like, stopping really close to your face and freaking the fuck out. And you're like, oh, he's really going to hit me in a minute. And then you just, when he goes to make a cup of tea, you jump out the window.
Or you sort of somehow blurt out accidentally the pigeons are just feathered rats.
And he uppercuts your face
He
off
just punches you in the face.
to death. Yeah, I don't want to get stoned with
Yeah,
him.
he's one of those guys that are dead nice and on a dime they can just turn you.
Yeah.
And turn your ear off and
Yeah.
rape you.
After punching you
And
repeatedly.
punch you unconscious. So, I mean, I know, I've heard he grows a lot of weed now. That's his thing, isn't it? He's like a weed growing man. Because you can do that legally now, can't you, over there? Oh,
Yeah,
fuck, I'm
some
getting in the right
places.
mess here with my microphone. Yeah, so
for,
what's he doing?
So, according to the press release, Kind Music Festival will be a one-day pop-up micro-festival event at the future site of the Tyson Ranch Resort. It's a 412-acre entertainment complex, luxury glamping resort, and cannabis research and design facility.
Awesome.
You know, all of a sudden I'm quite interested in going.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I pass out in a tent and wake up with Mike Tyson next to me, it's at 3:30. I'm like, ah!
I think you're making a big jump in the fact that Mike Tyson wants to rape you.
Of course he would want to rape.
Well,
Look
you're
at me.
female for a start.
Yeah, I'm fucking beautiful.
I think you may draw the line.
You don't know how stoned he's gonna get. Some people get really horny on some weeds. He might get all super strong, rapey horny. No, I don't want that. Nobody
Why would
wants
he
that.
want you instead of a woman?
Because I'm so pretty.
Mike, help me out.
I'm not getting
I
involved.
don't think Mike Tyson's gay, is what I'm trying to say.
Anyway, back to the story. I could turn Mike Tyson.
Oh, man. Well, I want to put that theory to the test. I want to see what happens when you try and side up to Mike Tyson and put your arm around him and gently stroke his cheek. I want to see what happens.
He's gonna hurt me.
He
Isn't he?
is, yeah. He is. And I'm going to record it all and put it on
He's
YouTube.
gonna punch me into another universe. Punch my soul out of my body.
Punch you so hard you will travel through several multiverses.
Yeah. Oh, I might have ended up in a better one.
No, you'll end up back in this one.
No. I'm like, not if I never wake up. In my coma, I could be living out like a You know.
That's
Awesome
true.
life.
Like the last 2 seasons of Archer.
And then you wake me up and I'm like, no, fuck! My legs don't work. He literally broke my spinal column with a punch.
So now do you admit that you can't turn like Tyson?
Put me back in the coma! It's all your fault, Ben.
Nope, not at all. You're the one who made the claim, I just went back in.
Anyway, what the fuck? Why are we talking about this?
Mike Tyson's cannabis-themed music festival.
Oh yeah, that I don't want to go to.
He's going to transform the desert into a pop-up concert experience complete with food trucks, a chillville
Nice.
with 100 speciality beanbags,
Ooh.
a fun zone featuring massive inflatable rides, obstacle courses and mazes. You don't be doing that when you're stoned.
I bet he'll pop
That's
up.
all inflated with fucking ace. Bouncing off shit.
Chillville. I will not be able to go to Chillville at Mike Tyson's music festival. Where is he?
I don't think he's only mixing it with the plebs, to be fair.
There'll be a bar area, vendor village and limited edition hoodies.
Well, I want to go.
Go for it. How you doing, Ben?
$85
That's not bad.
admission.
Pretty cheap, yeah.
1 day.
VIP $165.
That's still not that bad.
That desperate he is.
Hey, I'd go.
Well, that's the news, I guess, for this week. We got really high again, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
So
we're full Alex.
full Alex. So
And Ben was drinking his gin.
just
Don't worry, I haven't had any sleeping tablets. Ben's accusing me of being addicted to sleeping tablets. I've taken less than 20.
I mean, it's a box.
20. And you take 2 at a time. But they work. They're from Asda. They're amazing.
They must work.
Yeah. It's when you take them in the morning that you've got a problem because you just want to feel stoned. Not that
Is that
I've
what they
ever
do?
done
Just
that.
make you feel high and you're asleep.
If you take them and try and stay awake deliberately, yeah, you're going to feel all kinds of like, whoa.
I might try that myself then.
Don't try to sit home, kid.
That's all right.
Anyway, let's play our favourite game
Yes.
show.
Never go full Alex.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
In this game, Mike will find us a couple of clips of random weirdos he finds on the net, and then he'll pit them against one of our saints of the show, Saint Alex Jones, in a battle royale of insanity. So remember though, it's alright to go a little bit Alex, and maybe even half Alex. But you should never go full Alex.
Ever.
Ever. So who we got tonight, Mike?
First up, we got Josh Bernstein.
Or Bernstein.
Bernstein wants Democrats charged with treason for refusing to fund Trump's border wall.
Okay, and this guy's a politician, yeah?
I don't know if he's a politician. I think he's just a political commentator.
Oh, right.
Shall we say?
Okay.
Our border is open like a sieve. They could care less. And this goes to show and goes to prove that it is purely political. This has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that these scumbags, and that's what I'll call them, that will not fund our southern border, it's all about giving Trump his victory. That's what this is. Prevent President Trump from getting his victory any means possible. These people are lower than pond scum. They are in violation of their oath of office. They should be arrested and charged for treason, for not doing and upholding the Constitution and supporting the Constitution and the right to protect the citizens of the United States. The president is the only one willing to stick his neck out there and work hard on trying to get this done. And you know what? I hope he gives the middle finger to Congress and tells them to go jump off a bridge and declares a state of emergency and funds this damn wall once and for all.
The problem I have with walls is that for as long as we've had walls, someone's always figured out a way to get through them.
Of course. Bullshit. Do you know, since 1975, how many terrorists have entered the US?
The guys who 9/11?
Illegally.
Oh, illegally?
Yeah, since 1975, not including 9/11, I think.
7.
Exactly 7.
Hey!
Since 1975, how many have come to the southern border?
None?
None exactly. They all came through Canada or seaports. And they were all foiled before they did any damage. So they're on about this national security of the southern border against terrorists. No terrorist since 1975 has come over the border from Mexico.
It's just a voting point.
It's just a complete political.
Yeah, but earlier
farce,
this week
isn't it?
he said that Mexico. He said that he'd never said Mexico were going to pay for the wall. He said that. He said, I never said that. I never said that Mexico were going to pay for it. I was like, well, you did. You said that a lot.
Well, we all know. He's living his own
shit.
fucking fantasy, isn't he?
I think he's had an undiagnosed stroke. I really do.
He doesn't have to tell the truth. He lives in a post-truth
Yeah.
apocalypse. He can just say what he wants. It
This is
doesn't
true.
affect his fucking position. So, should we go on to the next?
Yeah, because I just think he's a bit.
Batterton.
I just think he's a bit of a twat rather than insane.
He's a knob. Because none of these things he's saying are realistic. So
That's
he's
it.
just wasted hot air.
Yeah.
You also get the feeling that being such a staunch Republican, he always wears a red T-shirt no matter the occasion.
It's like, tell him to jump off a bridge, arrest him.
Yeah.
It's not going to
But they're doing the job. The Congress is there. Do you know what I mean? To vote on these things.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're saying there's a national emergency, there isn't a national emergency. In fact, migration from the southern border has declined.
Yeah.
In recent years, it isn't going up, it's actually going down, so it's all bullshit.
Is that because the American economy's not doing so well?
I don't know. Maybe just because there's less turmoil in some of the countries down there.
I suppose so, yeah.
The Coke's better in Mexico.
Well, there are still
Coca-Cola.
problems in Venezuela and El Salvador. The Americans are still propping up
El Salvador.
right-wing governments and attacking left-wing governments, aren't they?
Yes.
CIA still got their fingers in some pies down there.
Absolutely.
Yes, they have. So let's see who's next in the battle of insanity.
Oh, it's
Next
Jesse
up,
Lee Peterson.
Jesse Lee Peterson says a child conceived in rape should be raised by the rapist.
Oh fuck! Yeah. No.
So anyway, about my lady, I was wondering, and I know what you say about this having children and everything, but she has a child from rape.
From who?
And from rape, being raped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, the child is 8. We've been together since she was 3. And I was wondering, I mean, we got together when I was fallen, you know what I mean, in that fallen state.
Right.
And I was wondering if it's right for me to, if I do everything the right way and show her the right way to live without anger and all that other, mess, would it be okay to marry her even though she has a child?
Absolutely no.
No?
No.
I knew it. I need to say that.
No, do not marry a woman, and a woman should not marry a man who already have children. It's bad enough on kids when they don't have both parents. It's worse when a so-called step-parent steps in, and because the soul of that child, whether male or female, the soul yearns for the father, not a stepfather or stepmother. They want their natural father and natural mother, and especially their natural father. And so, if this woman is a decent woman at all, she was sacrificed for her child, not for herself, but for her child. And you're going to be in the way, and you did it in the fallen state, but at least you're waking up before you got married to her and just helped to destroy that child. So no, don't do it. Seek first the kingdom of God and his right way, and God will add a woman unto you. The right woman. This is not the right woman for you.
Amazing. That's heartbreaking, but it is amazing.
Yeah, and you're going to be so grateful later as you move through life that you're finally doing the right thing. You're living. You have faith, and you are a son of God. You're what you say, and you live that way. You will not regret this. But if you marry her, you will regret it.
Yeah, I understand. Wow, that's amazing. Well,
and then
that's amazing. So, I did have another question for you, though.
Okay.
What should I instruct or even suggest to the daughter? She's a girl. She's 8 years old. She calls me dad here and there, but it's like I know that I'm not her biological father. Like I want to be her father, but I'm never going to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what would I instruct? Say if
let her know. Let her know.
To our own separate.
Let her know that you're not her father, and that you apologize for getting involved with her mother, and that for her not to be angry and to love her father, her real father, and don't believe anything that anyone has to say about him so that she can love her father. She'll grow up a peaceful young lady. She'll have a good life, and you walk away from that.
I hope that was a troll call, because if not, that guy just broke up a fucking family.
I think it was genuine. Honestly.
Why the fuck are you ringing this geezer up?
He's not gonna listen. He can't. He must already be in so much shit if he's ringing this fucking jackass for advice. If he sees him as a wise person to ask such a deep question to, should I stay with them or not? No. Tell her she's a rape baby and she should respect him. And don't believe anything anyone says about him.
And she should love her father.
Love him.
Love the rapist.
I'm sorry I was involved with your mum and tried to, make it go, give you a decent life. Sorry about that, because God wouldn't like that.
It seems that he seemed to think he was trying to and raise her properly for 5 years.
Yeah.
Fuck it up.
Can you believe it?
Just walk away from that. Just don't walk away from that. Oh, this guy's a fucking lunatic. He's off his tree every time we see him. And he talks like a fucking Riri.
I genuinely think it's between him and Pat for fucking chief fucking prick.
He's a fucking knob jockey of the highest order.
He certainly is.
Let's see what Alex is saying. He's in the lead at the moment.
Okay, next up, Alex Jones creeps out even Gavin McGuinness.
Oh, I have no idea what that is.
Proud boy.
Guy.
Oh, he's got a cowboy hat on. That might explain everything.
God damn them to hell! You bastards, you blew it all up! God damn you! He's not taking Lord's name in vain! He's saying God damn them! God damn them! God damn them! God fucking damn them to hell! You seem upset. I'm freaking pissed, man! You know they're giving kids vaccines everywhere that eat their freaking cerebral cortex? No, I'm not really familiar with vaccines. They should complain about the children being effed with! God, not me showing you! You think I like seeing this crap? You think it doesn't piss me off? Let me tell you, I'm ready to kill people. I'm sick of this not literally. The point is, I'm getting sick of this crap. That's one attitude. Another attitude is... Give all our kids to child molesters, goddammit. Excuse me.
This is
I'm not taking Lord's name in vain. I want these people damned to hell.
That was uncomfortable. It's so fake as well. That's what makes it uncomfortable. You're like, wow, he's really going for it this time.
So
God damn them!
So that chap who sat with him, I'm aware of the Proud Boys, there's some sort of alt-right, neo-Nazi. Are we talking that far, or how far are we going on the right scale?
No. They're just far right. I don't know much about them, to be fair.
They're just a bit alt-righty, I think.
It's a bit alt-right. And he's really brought him on.
all white.
I can see where Alex is going with this. He's brought him on thinking, I'm gonna fucking go against all this vaccinations, because he never talked about just vaccinations and all, and eating children's cerebral cortexes, and he's gonna sit there and go, yeah, you're right, Alex, you're absolutely fucking right. And that guy's where you sat there thinking, but I know vaccines work. I may be a bit alt-right, that doesn't make me a complete fucking
I'm not a fucking conspiracy lunatic.
Yeah, I just don't like brown people. I'm quite behind vaccines, they stop polio.
Well, I think, God damn it,
I almost feel sorry for him.
I think the second guy's still got it, because I think Alex is just doing a bit of a fake raise to try and get I'm going to go viral with this one. God damn them! Yeah, I think the second guy's got
going with Jesse Lee.
Yeah, he just told a dude to walk away from his family.
It's 5 year relationship. He was going to marry her, raise a daughter as his own.
Tell her a rapey dad.
He would have been my choice.
Yeah, I've got to go number 2 this week. Jesse, what's his name? Jesse Lee Peterson.
Definitely running closely to him and Pat for fucking king of the fucktards, isn't it?
Jesse Lee Prickerson. Fuck me. Yeah, fuck him.
God, I'd love to fucking speak to him. I wasn't a person.
Brain him with a saucepan.
Yeah, well, that's going to happen at the end of the conversation.
He might wake up talking normally. Oh, suddenly I can enunciate.
That was what
still be a cunt though.
I'd still, you know what? It doesn't matter how much I ranted at him and tried to get him to stop being a cunt. I still end up punching him at the end of it, and that's really why I want to meet him in person.
He's an absolute cunt. So the Anunnaki are our overlords. In conclusion,
for once we're all going for aliens. Yay!
Alex is a loon as always, but that Jesse Lee Peterson's a fucking dangerous prick. Anyway. Ben, do you want to wrap it up, sir?
Yeah. Thanks for listening. I've been Ben, and don't drink the Flavour Aid and don't join a cult, but recommend gin.
I've been Gaz. Check out my comic book on Amazon. What's it called? Space Force Intergalactic Fascists. Have a look at that. Free Biff Tannen. Thanks for listening.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you. Good night.